hate on you on camera. Do you need some more time to straight iron your bangs there?
So much hate.
Deservedly so.
What's happening there?
Something in the showers, I don't want to know.
Boys in the showers.
I'm recording this right now, by the way, so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, I'll cut this part off, maybe. This is Jackie with your all-access interview with Garret Rapp from the Color Morale here at Day 2 of Dallas' South by So What Festival. You guys have been a band since way back in 2007. We first talked back in 2010. How has your band evolved since its beginnings?
Oh, man. I think over the years, we've been doing this, seems like forever. I think over the years we've just kind of changed and grown as people, not only musicians, but as people. Been through a lot of turbulence over the years, and in doing so, I think it develops a lot of character, builds you up to who you are today. So it's we're definitely not one of those bands that had anything handed to us. We've had to, work harder than I even understood how to get to the point we're at now, and it's nothing gets easier when you get to that point. If anything, to carry that much weight gets even harder and harder. So that's kind of where we're at now. Just continuing to work as hard as we can. I just literally spent about 2.5 hours at a merch table. I've been running around all day, working as hard as I can. That's the work ethic we've always had as a band and will always continue to have.
And Hold On, Pain Ends is your first album on Fearless. What do some of these changes bring over the years?
We did our third record, No Hope. I made a personal goal. I wanted to spend every moment of our record cycle at our merch table. So anywhere from like A-Market tours to 1,200 people sold out, I was our merch guy. That is the most demanding thing I've ever done in my entire life. Just being at merch, yelling over bands, talking. Kids are very comfortable with me. They come to me with a lot of heavy stories. I actually had to start seeing someone when I went home. I don't think I've ever disclosed this before, but I had to start kind of talking to somebody when I went home because the validity and the weight of the things kids were coming to me in such abundance with started affecting me dramatically. So I had to kind of, build myself up strong enough to be able to carry the momentum and the weight of that. And doing that, being at the table that much and making myself that available, I just listened a lot. And Hold On, Pain Ends lyrically is, a culmination of everything that I learned from, I don't like to say fan base, from people that believe and support our band. That's what I wrote that entire record about. Everything that I had been told, the turbulent times that young and impressionable people are going through right now. So that's what that record is in its entirety. It's a record for them.
Today you played. You also spoke at the speaker stage. You were at merch. I have no idea how you find time to do it all. Tell me a little bit about the speaker stage and what you talked about today.
Yeah, it was a stage in a memorial for Tyson Stevens, who took his own life from Scary Kids Scaring Kids. It's kind of a really cool and unique idea that Mike Zemer, and asked me if I would want to be a part of it. I've been kind of an advocate of suicide prevention and just talking, being honest and raw about things with what I do in the Color Morale. So he set up that stage, and Johnny, myself, Davey from Vanna, and Josh from Motionless all spoke there today. And it was like it was a really cool thing. It's the thing that I took away from that today. There was so many unique, different kinds of kids there. Not even kids. There were adults that I saw come over to that tent stage, and the thing that I gathered most about it was the circle of friends. I think sometimes in life, when we sit in seclusion in those turbulent times, that's the time we're most vulnerable to ourselves. And somebody that's dealt with situational things like that, like suicide or depression, that's something that in those moments together, when you're sharing the same struggle with everyone, and you're literally 2 feet from somebody that's dealing with the same thing you have, that's community. And I never had that really growing up. I never had friends or sensitive places in my life where I could go for comfort. So knowing that even if there's a handful of kids that took something away from that today, and I think there were dozens and dozens of kids that took something away from that stage. In my opinion, entertainment is entertainment, and that's what a music festival is. But if you have an opportunity to go a little bit further and dig a little deeper, the statistics don't lie. I mean, by the time this interview is over, somebody will have committed suicide in our country. And if that can be somebody young and impressionable that will listen to something that I or my peers have to say, then that's, in my opinion, a hell of a lot more important than a set of music. I think that's why I do what I do and why I'm here still touring and doing what I do in the Color Morale. And it was beautiful. That was an awesome stage today.
As I've watched you guys, and you specifically over the past 5 years, I can tell you that you definitely do have that sense of community. You definitely reach out long after any bands shift. Not that you guys have a set schedule by any means, but you're there long after everyone's loaded out on the bus partying, out and left. What do you do for fun?
It's real easy to get caught up and distracted in this whole band world. There's many accessible things between the fast-paced lifestyle of being a touring musician and the drugs and alcohol that are very accessible, and the girls that are very vulnerable, and there's a million things that you could do to get distracted being a guy in a band out here. And I won't lie and say that I haven't been distracted by things in the past, but I think that's a conscious decision you need to make as to what you're gonna subscribe to and apply every day. I've used people in my life, and it's kind of a decision I make now to use my time to do something for a greater good of somebody else, not for myself. So. We've got this big fancy tour bus, and there's a PS4, and there's all these nice amenities that I could indulge in, but that's of no benefit to our fan base or to me. I can play video games when I go home. I can do that stuff when I'm not on tour. When I'm on tour, that's my time to be at the merch table or talking somewhere, hanging out somewhere, just connecting any way I can. That's really important to me. Not saying that everybody in a band can and should do that. I know a lot of musicians that can't speak to someone. That's why they play music. But for me, I've been blessed to be able to communicate and to connect. I don't feel like my talent is being a front man or being in a band or a singer or whatever. But I have a natural ability to connect to someone. So why wouldn't I want to use that for a good reason?
I would agree with that. Are there any charities that you're currently working with or have worked with in the past?
There's a couple organizations I'm working with, Hope for the Day and Heart Support. Those are two organizations I really believe strongly in. We've got a couple of ideas for other things this year too. I want to work with To Write Love in Our Arms a lot more. And shameless plug, go watch that movie if you haven't. The To Write Love in Our Arms movie is phenomenal. I watched it on the plane to Australia a couple weeks ago, actually, and it was a phenomenal movie. I do a lot of work with organizations. I've always wanted to delegate time to do something myself, to do nonprofit work myself, but when do I have time to do nonprofit work myself? So for now, I'll just continue working with those organizations, those friends. They're great people doing very honest and authentic things.
Very cool. So what's up next for you and the Color Morale after this tour, after the Take Action tour?
Yeah, well, we just started the Hold On Paint Ends tour.
Oh, sorry. It's been a long day.
A lot of tours going through here. It's with our friends Slaves, Vanna, and Alive Like Me, and we started in San Antonio. So it's been one night, and then it's so weird. We had that night, and then 2 festival dates, and then 2 days off. So it's like we haven't really started tour yet. It doesn't feel like. So we pick back up in Phoenix, and then that's a 6-week tour. So and then we do that straight to Europe with Beartooth, and straight to the next thing that I can't say yet.
Never a nap, never a nap. We'll stay tuned for a lot more from Garret Rapp and the Color Morale. This is Jackie, thanks to All Access and In the Key of Change.
Thanks, Jackie.
All right, welcome, thank you. I'm going to grab a picture of